Hello friends, can you all hear me? Good morning, Achyut. Good morning, Samiksha. Now, we had done dissolution, piecemeal distribution. Dissolution last today will start with piecemeal distribution. Correct? Yes, sir. Now, partnership. Correct? Now, 1 minute. 1 minute, 1 minute. Na 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 na. Now, one minute. Now, piecemeal distribution. Piecemeal. Piece matlab in parts. And meal means assets. Piecemeal distribution means when the company dissolves, the distribution, the selling of assets, getting the money and distributing it to the creditors part by part. That means you are not paying your liabilities at one go. As soon as you sell the assets, you get little money, then you pay off little creditors. Again you sell the assets, you get little money, again you pay off liabilities. So gradually the assets are realized and the gradual payment of liabilities is known as piecemeal distribution. Dheere dheere, hole hole, slowly slowly. Am I clear? Now chartered, partners decide to dissolve the firm. Fair enough. During these 3 months, assets are gradually sold and liabilities are gradually paid off. Fair enough. This gradual realization of assets and payment of liabilities is known as piecemeal distribution. This, good morning, Sanjana. Now, during these 3 months, assets are gradually sold and liabilities are gradually paid off. These gradual realization of assets and payment of liabilities is known as piecemeal distribution. And the entire distribution of assets to liabilities is disclosed in a statement called Statement of Distribution of Cash. Statement of Distribution of Cash. Now charted, in what order? So we are supposed to prepare a statement over here where we'll realize the money from the assets and go on paying it to our liabilities. Now charted, priority of payment. First we'll pay off whom? Secured loan. Secured means any loan which has any liability or any loan which has an asset attached to it. For example, bank loan, secured by plant and machinery or secured by land. This is an example of secured loan. Preferential creditors, that is government dues, PF dues, tax dues. So first you will pay off secured loan, then you will pay off preferential creditors, then you will pay off unsecured loan. Now chartered, unsecured creditors, we have got creditors, bills payable, bank overdraft, outstanding expense, and deficiency portion of unsecured creditors. Sir, oh sir, what is deficiency portion of unsecured creditors? So deficiency portion of secured creditors. So what's that? Suppose you have a bank loan of 50,000. How much? 50,000. That bank loan is secured by plant and machinery. Listen to me very carefully. You have a bank loan of 50,000. Against that bank loan, you have got secured against plant and machinery. You sell that plant and machinery and you get 55,000. Loan was how much? 50,000. You sell plant and machinery and you get how much? 55,000. So you will use 50,000 to repay the bank loan? Yes. Surplus 5,000 you will use to repay other liabilities. You will use surplus 5,000 to repay other liabilities. Okay, chartered? Yes. Now, my chartered, suppose you have a loan of 50,000 against plant and machinery. You sell plant and machinery and you get 48 only. So, 48,000 you will use in repaying the loan. But is entire loan repaid? Nah. 2,000 loan is yet to be repaid. That 2,000 loan which is yet to be repaid is known as deficiency portion of secured loan. Oh, trade creditors, bills payable, bank OD, outstanding expense and deficiency portion of unsecured creditors. Suppose there is a secured loan against plant and machinery of rupees 20,000, but plant and machinery realized 16,000 only. Then shortage of 4,000 is known as deficiency. So first you will pay off what? Secured loan. After paying secured loan, preferential creditors. After preferential creditors, unsecured. After unsecured, spouse's loan. That means if you are man, wife is a spouse. If you are a girl, husband is a spouse. Correct? After spouse, partner's loan. And after partner's loan, partner's capital. So first secured, then preferential, then unsecured, and then spouse's loan, then partner's loan, then partner's capital. One more important thing. If there are more than one, if there are more than one liability in one category, then they should be paid off, then they should be paid off in ratio of their the amount due. That means there is government dues, there is income tax and GST both outstanding. So both are government dues, both are preferential creditors. Then GST and income tax which should be paid first. Both should be paid together in the ratio of their claim. You have got creditors and bills payable. Both are unsecured. Who should be paid first? Both creditors and bills payable should be paid together in ratio of their in ratio of their claims or in ratio of the amount due. Am I clear? Yes, no, yes. Now charted, partner's spouse's loan, partner's loan and partner's capital balance due. Now, charted, steps to solve. Steps to solve chartered, it means there are two methods. There are two methods to prepare piecemeal distribution, statement of realization. How many methods? Two. So, piecemeal distribution is divided into two parts. Piecemeal distribution is divided into two parts. One method is known as highest surplus relative capital method, and the second is chartered maximum loss method. So, piecemeal distribution is divided into two parts, highest surplus relative capital method and maximum loss method. Sir, is this video available on YouTube? Yes, Sheikh. Now chartered, so first we'll start with highest surplus relative method. In this method, we have got step 1, calculate installments. Calculate installments. Installment means the money which we'll have to distribute it to the liabilities. Money which we have to distribute it to the liabilities. Now charted, when I say installment, it means how you will calculate installment. Cash, assets realized, cash, assets realized, realization expense, realization expense. Now charted, that we will subtract. With that we will get what? Installment. So, when I use the word installment, installment means after adjusting. Installment means after adjusting what? Cash bank and realization expenses. Am I clear? Yes. Now charted, there are two more important things to learn over here. That is provision for realization expenses. Suppose chartered, these installments are realized every month. Suppose there is a dissolution taking place in March, so April realization, April installment, May installment, June installment, July installment, whatever period it is. Your first installment will always include cash. Now, when I start dissolution or when I start piecemeal distribution, I may think, no, in this entire period, I will spend 5,000. How much? 5,000. So, I remove 5,000 from my first installment, that is known as provision for realization expense. That I will remove from my first realization, 5,000. Then by the end, I will come to know my actual expenses is how much. My actual expenses can be more than 5,000, can be 5,000, can be less than 5,000. Ah, sir. If it is 5,000, then life is beautiful. If it is more than 5,000, that means I had set aside only 5, but expenditure ho gaya more than 5, say suppose 5.5. So extra 500 from where will I bring? I will subtract it from last realization. So from first installment, second installment, third installment, suppose fourth. So provision for realization expense I will subtract from the first installment. But if there is deficiency, I will subtract from the last installment. That I had taken out how much? 5. But my actual expenditure comes to 6. Then extra 2000, I will subtract it from the last realization. Or vice versa chartered. I have taken out 5. But I spent 4.5 only. So 500 is surplus. That 500 surplus I can use to pay off other liabilities also. Yes. So I will add back surplus over here. Deficiency as surplus is nothing but difference between provision and actual expenses. Am I clear? Yes, sir. Now chartered. Similarly, we have provision for realization expense or contingent liability. Suppose you have a contingent liability, like liability for bills discounted. You know what is bills discounted? Bills of exchange we had done. I got a bill from Ram. So I am drawer, Ram is drawee. I discount the bill with the bank. Correct? So on the due date, who will pay to the bank? I will pay, Ram will pay. Sir, Ram will pay. But if Ram dishonors the bill, then I am supposed to pay. Yes. So am I always supposed to pay? No. I am supposed to pay only if Ram dishonors. Correct, incorrect? Correct. So this is a liability which may or may not arise. I have to only pay if Ram does not pay. If Ram pays, I am not supposed to pay. Such liability which may or may not arise in future is known as what? Contingent liability. Am I clear? So contingent liability. Yes. I will subtract contingent liability full amount. Then at the end, I might have paid the same amount. If I have paid the more amount, then deficiency I will subtract from the last installment. And if I have paid less amount, then surplus I will add it back to the last installment. Oh. So this you understood? Yes. This is how you calculate installment. Second is chartered statement of absolute surplus. Statement of absolute surplus. This statement helps us to find out which partner is to be paid first and how much. Which partner is to be paid first and how much. For example, your capital 3 lakh, my capital 2 lakh. We both are partners. Your capital 3 lakh, my capital 2 lakh, and your profit sharing ratio is 1:1. If our profit sharing ratio is 1:1, then our capital should also be equal. But your is 3, mine is 2. So you have an extra capital of how much? 1 lakh. Because if mine is 2, yours should also be 2. But your is how much? 3. The extra how much? 1 lakh. That extra 1 lakh should be paid off in cash. So you should be paid first 1 lakh. Oh. Then step 3. In step 3 chartered, we prepare statement of distribution of cash. Statement of distribution of cash. Now, that statement looks like this. Particulars, amount, total, liability 1, liability 2, liability 3, capital 1, capital 2, capital 3. This liability 1, liability 2, liability 3 are in the order of payment. Okay. Then we write charted amount due. Amount due. Say suppose 5,000. 5,000. But this 5,000 is paid only 4,500. 500 is discount received. 500 is discount received. Then what do you do? Amount paid 4,500 and discount received 500. That also should be subtracted because we are paying 4,500 in full and final settlement. Am I clear? Yes. So highest surplus में charted first will calculate installment, that is cash plus realization asset realized minus realization expenses minus provision for realization expenses. If your actual expenses is more, then deficiency should be subtracted from the last installment. If your actual expenses is less, then surplus should be added to the last installment. Same goes with contingent liability. Then you prepare statement of absolute surplus where you find out which partner should be paid first and how much. And third is statement of distribution of cash. Am I clear? Yes. Shall we solve one question? हाँ sir. एकदम फटाफट solve. चलो. Now. Ready? Yes. No. Sir, in the exam, can we extend to the provided margin because this is very long and margin is also huge in the exam script? No, you cannot extend. Chale? Yes. Now, step 1. A partnership firm was dissolved on 30th of June 2022. Its balance sheet on that day of distribution was as follows. Capital A, B and C. Loan B, partners loan. Creditors, cash and sundry assets. The assets were realized in installment and the payments were made on proportionate capital basis. Proportionate capital basis, we are in the first method. Creditors were paid rupees 29,000 in full settlement. Creditors are how much? 30. We are paying 29,000 in full settlement. That means 1,000 is discount received. Further account. Expenses on realization amounted to rupees 5,000. Expenses of realization were estimated 5,400. That means this is provision. But the actual amount was how much? 4,000 only. So we had taken out 5,400 but we spent only 4,000. So there is a surplus of exactly 1,400. That will be added back. Correct, incorrect? Correct. This amount was paid in September. Draw up a statement. Fifth, the partners should share profit and losses in the ratio 2:2:1. Prepare a statement showing distribution of cash amongst the partners by highest relative capital method. Am I clear? Yes. Chalo. Step 1. Step 1. Calculation of monthly installments. Now, particulars. Particulars July, August, September. Correct? Yes, no, yes, sir. No. Now, Cash. Cash is how much? Cash balance 10,800. Then assets realized. Now, assets realized 25,200, 60,000, 25,200, 60,000 and 80,000. Yes, sir. Now, provision for realization expenses. How much is the provision? 5,400 it is given. Correct? But how much is the money we spent? 4,000. So surplus is how much? 1,400. That surplus will add back. That surplus we will add back. Now charted. $30,600, 60,000, 81,400. Barabar? Yes, sir. Now, which one? This one? It will not help you, Samiksha. Done? Now, this is your step 1. Step 2. Statement calculation of absolute surplus. Calculation of absolute surplus. Ahmedabad, Bangalore, Chennai. Correct? First, A. Capital. Now charted, how much is capital? 76, 48 and 36. 76,000, 48,000, 36,000. Correct? Yes, sir. B. Profit sharing ratio 2:2:1. C. Capital per share. Now 76,000 capital is for 2 parts, 48,000 capital is for 2 parts and 36,000 is for 1 part. Therefore, capital per part, that is capital per share, is A by B. So A has a capital of 76 by 2, 38,000 per share. B has a capital of 24,000 per share and C has 36,000 per share. So which is the lowest capital? Sir, the lowest capital is 24,000. Very good. Now, we will calculate. So 24,000 को we will make base charted. 24,000 को charted we will make base. अयो रामा ये क्या हुआ? Relative capital. Relative capital is equal to lowest capital into profit sharing ratio. So what is the lowest capital? 24. So A ka capital should be how much? 24 into 2, 48. B also should be 48 and C should be 24. That means their capital should have been 48, 48 and 24 according to their PSR. But chartered A has a capital of how much? 76. So A has a surplus. B has a capital of how much? 48. Life is beautiful. C has a capital of how much? 36. But should have been only how much? 24. So C has a surplus of how much? 12. Are you understanding? Yes. Now chartered, sir, why did you take the lowest capital? Your capital was 3. My capital was 2. Did I say both ka capital should be 3 or both ka capital should be 2? So you told both ka capital should be 2. Then you will be able to find surplus capital. If I say both ka capital should be 3, then you will be able to find deficiency of capital. Then my deficiency would have been 1 lakh. Yes. Then 1 lakh I had to bring. Yes. We are doing dissolution, Bapu. We are not doing admission. So admission we are supposed to pay or take home? Pay. So we'll take which capital as base? Lowest. Lowest, 2, 2. So extra you have how much? 1. That you will take off first. Correct. Now again come back. A has a capital of 76. This is 48. So surplus. So surplus capital 76 minus 48. 28. 36 minus 24. 12. Correct? That is Ahmedabad minus Delhi. So that much we came to know that A and C should be paid ahead of B. A and C should be paid ahead of B. 1 minute, chartered, I will be back. So from here we came to know, chartered, that A and C should be paid ahead of B. Now A and C mein who should be paid ahead? A and C mein, chartered, who should be paid ahead? So again restart. F PSR 2 1 capital per share, that is England divided by Faridabad. England divided by Faridabad. That is 14,000, 6,000. In this, which is the lowest capital? 6. Absolute capital. Absolute capital, chartered, is equal to lowest capital into PSR. That is 6. 6 2 12 and 6 1 6. Now chartered. Ready? Sorry. This is 12,000 and 14 and 12 may lowest is 12. This was 28 divided by 2, 14, 12,000 divided by 1, 12. Correct? Now, lowest capital into PSR. So 12,000 into 2, 24, 12,000 into 1, 12,000. Absolute surplus. Absolute surplus is equal to England minus Hindustan. That means this and this. So, A has a surplus of how much? 4,000, 12, 12, 0. Now charted, that means A should be paid first how much? 4. A should be paid first 4 and just above A, don't forget this line, just above that line, immediately above. Some people make mistake over here only charted. This they find out 4 and after 4 they start doing some random thing. Just above 4 wala line, just above 4 wala line, just above 4 wala line, that is H wala line. 12 and 20, this is how much? Next 36 should be paid to A and C in the ratio 2:1. Just last line, second last line. So if I say last line, then 4,000 should be paid to A. Second last line, that is 36,000 to A and C in the ratio 2:1. Balance, after you give up 36,000, balance to Ahmedabad, Bangalore and Chennai in 2:1. Correct? Yes, sir. Now, shall we move ahead? Yes or no? Yes, sir. No, 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 no. Now, step 3. Statement of distribution of cash. This is the final statement. Particulars, amount, total, then creditors, then B's loan, A, B and C. First you will pay creditors, then partners loan. Correct? Unsecured loan, then partners loan. Now charted balance sheet. First you will pay creditors 30, then B's loan 10, then 76, 48 and 36. 30, 10, 76, 48 and 36. So, amount due. No, 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 no. Creditors is how much? 30. B's loan 10. 76. 48, 36. Correct? 76, 48 and 36. B's loan 10 and creditors 30. Now chartered total of this is how much? 36 plus 48 plus 76 plus 10 plus 30 is total how much? 2 lakhs. See, I would have solved this sum some 100 times. Again, I am solving now. Did I explain you from solution? No. You also don't try to understand from solution. Write and solve. Because I know this, still I am solving. I could have showed you from solution only. No, tick, 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 audit. Don't do it. It does not help that way. Now chartered. If solutions, if people would have understood, no, we would have explained from solution only. It would save our efforts also, beta. First installment. All installments a year, 30,600, 60,000, yet even 400. Now chartered. So first installment, 30,600. That 30,600 may say first you will pay home, creditors. But creditors ko you are supposed to pay how much? Entire 30,000. Na, creditors ko you are supposed to pay only 29,000. So creditors 29,000. $29,000. Then chartered discount received. This also you should subtract from total and creditors. Discount received should also be subtracted from total and creditors. Now chartered. We are still left with $1,600. This 1,600 you will use in paying off B's loan? Yes. B's loan, 1,600. Now chartered. Now balance due. Balance due chartered. Balance due is how much? 1,68,400. Balance due is how much? 1,68,400. Nothing, 8,400. And this will remain as it is. Correct? Yes. Second installment. Second installment chartered is how much? 60,000. So 60 में से first you will pay off B's loan. B's loan how much? B's loan 8,400. B's loan 8,400. Correct? अरे हाँ भाई हाँ. नन्ना. Now chartered. Now, so you're left with how much in your hand? We still have 51,600. Now chartered this 51,600, say you are now supposed to start paying capital. Which capital you will pay off first? A को you will pay off first 4,000. तो A's capital How much? 4,000. A's capital को you will pay off 4,000. 4,000. No, no, no. No, 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 no. Now, so left with how much? 47,600. Now charted this 47,600 में से after paying off A, you will pay 36 to A and C in the ratio 2:1. Yes. So, if you did not have 36, suppose you had 20 only, then 20 you will pay it off from here and balance 16 you will pay it off from the next installment. Are you understanding? You are supposed to pay how much? 36,000. Suppose in this installment you are left with 47,600. But suppose you are left with only 20,000, then charted 20 you will pay from here and balance 16,000 you will pay from next installment. Correct or incorrect? Correct. Aja pyare. A and B in 2:1. A and B in the ratio 2:1. Sorry, A and C in the ratio 2:1. How much? 36,000. That is 24. Now charted you are left with how much? 11,600. Now you are left with how much? 11,600. This 11,600 you will give it to A, B and C. This 11,600 after giving 36,000, whatever balance is left, you will give it to A, B and C in which ratio? 2:1. Correct? Yes. $4,640 and 2,320. Now charted. So realization loss. No. Balance due. Balance due is 27,000 dash 10,800 5,400. Correct? Yes. Now, sorry. Balance due is 1 lakh. Balance due is 1 lakh 8,400 43,360 21,680. Then charted third installment. Third installment is 81,400. Correct? And this entire 81,400 you will use in paying off This entire 81,400 you will use in paying off partners' capital. Ahmedabad, Bangalore and Chennai. Tick, tick. 32,560 and 16,280. Yes or no? Yes, sir. Na, 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 na. 81,400 in the ratio 2:2:1. So what we will get is realization loss. Realization loss is how much? 27,000. 10,800, 10,800 and now charted, what is this? This is your maximum loss. Highest surplus relative capital method. Second is charted maximum loss method. Correct? Now, ready? Yes. In maximum loss, second method, this you'll have done. Step 3. Done. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Now we'll start with maximum loss method. Now my wonderful chartered accountant. Maximum loss method. Now, maximum loss method mein what will happen? Maximum loss method mein chartered, you will do step 1. Step 1 mein you will prepare statement of distribution of cash. Statement of distribution of cash. Correct? Now this you will prepare up to payment of partners' capital. Up to payment of partners' capital. Correct? Yes. Now my wonderful chartered accountants, up to payment of partners' capital. Then you are supposed to pay partners' capital? Yes. So step 2 mein, when you go to make payment to partners' capital, you know how you will make. Payment to partners' capital. Payment to partners' capital. Now chartered, suppose there are 3 partners, Ahmedabad, Bangalore, Chennai. Ahmedabad, Bangalore, Chennai. Whatever is the capital that will become due, that is total. Correct? Yes. Then chartered, there is amount realized which you are supposed to distribute to the partners. Yes. From this you subtract this. Now let's assume that this amount realized is the last amount. Let's assume that this amount realized is last realization. After this will not realize any amount only. That means chartered, suppose this is 400 and this is 150. So we assume that 400 is the amount payable to partners. Bolo ha? Ha sir. That means that 400 is payable to partners. Yes, yes. If 400 is payable to the partners and 150 chartered, you have money. How much money you have? 150. Payable how much? 400. Money you have is 150. So balance 250. My wonderful chartered accountant, will you be able to pay or you will not be able to pay? Sir, how will pay, sir? Will not pay, no sir. Exactly. So this 250 chartered will become maximum loss. Acha. Maximum loss possible. This you will distribute in PSR. Oh. After you distribute this in PSR, suppose you get anybody's negative capital balance. Suppose A has a negative capital balance, B and C is positive. Then chartered, A's deficiency will be borne by B and C in capital ratio. B and C in capital ratio. Which capital ratio? This and this, original capital ratio. So B cut capital deficiency you distributed between A and C. Now chartered logically saying, suppose if I tell you A will come 0, but suppose B ka was 500, his maximum loss he was bearing is 100, plus he is bearing A ka deficiency 50. That means out of 500, he is bearing a loss of how much? 100 and 50 rupees ka deficiency. Loss of 100 and 50 rupees ka deficiency. Chartered, that means he is bearing a loss of 150. Bolo ha, ha. If he is bearing a loss of 150, that means 350 is the cash he is getting. Okay. So last mein whatever balance you get, that is known as cash distributed. So this cash distributed will be transferred to step 1. Oh, understood? Yes. Shall we start? Ha. Chalo. Now, the following is the balance sheet of A, B and C Limited. Creditors, A's loan, capital account A, B, C, sundry assets, cash. The assets realize the following sums in installment. Now charted the word installment. The word installments means after adjusting cash and expenses, that we understood earlier only. So we are not supposed to adjust any cash, we are not supposed to adjust any realization expenses, they are all automatically adjusted. So this cash of 500 is already there in this 1000. The realization expected were how much? 500. So 500 should be subtracted from first realization. Yes. That means this 1000 is nothing but after including cash and subtracting realization expenses. This is 1000. So provision for realization expenses, like I told you. C chartered, I have told you. Installment means cash, assets, realization expense, provision for realization. So installments means after adjusting everything, yes or no? No. Correct? Yes. Now. Achha. And ultimately amounted to how much? 400. So 500 logically is the provision which you should have subtracted from the first. 500 is the provision for realization expenses, yes or no? Yes, that you should have subtracted from first. Actual realization expenses how much? 400. So 100 you should add back. Bolo ha. 100 you should add back. Correct, incorrect? Correct. Yes, no. Arey like karoge ke aise? No like, sir. We don't like you. Sorry. Now chartered, so installment means after adjusting cash and realization expenses. Installment means after adjusting cash and realization expenses. Is that clear? Yes, sir. Now chartered. Now chartered. Show how each state cash should be distributed among the partners under maximum loss method. This was printing error. Under maximum loss. चले? हाँ सर. So directly, first point you write down, profit sharing ratio. Profit sharing ratio is 2:2:1, and capital ratio is 15:18:9. Correct? Yes. Now, statement of distribution of cash. Once, can you slide down? Which part? This part. See, aspirant. Na, 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 na. Done? Yes, no. Yes, sir. Now, if you have not done, tell me. Statement of distribution of cash. Creditors age loan, creditors age loan is capital. Now, particulars amount total creditors age loan A, B and C. Now charted. 2 to 1 only, no? 15, 18, 9. I will leave it like this only. This you understood. Maximum loss, C aspirant, okay. I don't want to simplify. Let's keep it 15, 18, 19. Calculator we are using. So why to simplify? Now charted amount due. Amount due. Amount due is creditors is how much? 2, then 5, 15, 18, 9. 2000, 5, 15, 18 and 9. Correct? 33, 42, 49 is the total. This is amount due. First installment is how much? 1000. First installment 1000. This 1000 you will use in paying off creditors. Now chartered, you are left with how much? Balance due. $15, $18 and $9. Now chartered second installment. Second installment. Second installment is how much? 3000. So 3000 may say 1000 you will pay it off to creditors. Yes. Then you are left with 2000. This 2000 you will pay off to. This 2000 you will pay off to whom? So this 2000 we will pay off to A's loan. Correct? So A's loan को we paid off 2000. Yes sir, no sir, yes sir. Now my wonderful chartered accountants, we have how much? Now my wonderful chartered accountants, we have how much? Tell me, no, 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 no. Balance due. That is 45,000 dash 3,000, 15,000, 18,000 and 9,000. Correct? Yes. Now chartered A's loan now third installment. Third installment is 3,000. Creditors 1,000. So you are left with 2,000. This 2,000 you will pay off A's loan. Yeah, A's loan. How much you will pay off chartered? 2,000. So 2,000 we used in paying off A's loan. 2,000 we used in paying off A's loan. Correct? Now, balance due 43 1 1 minute, sorry 3000. This 3000 third installment is how much? 3900. Third installment is 3900 chartered. This 3900 may say first will pay off whom? Sir, first will pay off A's loan. This 3900, sorry. This third installment is 3900. This 3900 will pay off to whom? A's loan, how much? 3000. So A's loan na, 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 na. Now you are left with how much? 900. This 900 chartered you are supposed to pay off whom? This 900 you will use to pay off whom? This 900 you will use to pay off whom? This 900 you will use to pay off whom? Partners capital? Yes. But which partner should be paid first? Who should be paid? For that, we are here. Write down partners working note number 1. 900 we are supposed to pay. Correct? $900 का distribution we are supposed to show. Particulars, total Ahmedabad, Bangalore, Canada. Salam alaikum yari. Now chartered. सर आप इतना अच्छा कैसे पढ़ाते हो? जूम में है यश. नाउ चार्टर्ड, ए चार्टर्ड बैलेंस ड्यू बैलेंस ड्यू 45,000 माइनस 3,000 माइनस 900. सॉरी, यहां पे आ जाता है. बैलेंस ड्यू नाउ ए का कैपिटल इज हाउ मच? 15,000, 13, 18,000 and 9,000. 15, 18 and 9,000 chartered is the capital. Yes or no? Yes sir. Total how much? 33, 42. 42,000 is the capital, but how much money do we have to distribute? Chartered, we have only 900 to distribute. Are you understanding? Total we are supposed to pay 42,000, but today we have how much money? Today we have third installment ka how much money? Sir, today we have only 900. Oh my God. If only 900 hai, if only 900 hai, only 900 is there, that means we are left with how much? 41,100. That means out of 42,000, if we are supposed to pay only 900, that means 41,100 is the maximum loss. is maximum loss in profit sharing ratio of 2 is to 2 is to 1. तो 41 100 को 2 is to 1 में 16 440 16 440 8220. Now chartered 15,000, 18,000, 9,000, 16,440, 16,440 and 8220. Now tell me chartered, how much you are left with? So negative 1440, positive 1560 and positive 780. इसका मतलब chartered sir, why 1000 in third installment? It's given, no? Third installment 900 we have, no? We had third installment में 3,900, 3,000 we gave it off, so you are left with 900. Correct, no, Samiksha? Okay. अच्छा. So 1440, 1560 and 780. Now charted, that means A's deficiency is how much? 1440. A's deficiency is how much? 1440. 1 second. This A's deficiency will be distributed between B and C in capital ratio. A's deficiency between B and C in capital ratio. And capital ratio is how much? Capital ratio is how much? 18:9. 18:9. A's deficiency between B and C in the capital ratio 18:9, that is 1440. 18:9 matlab 960 and 480. That means chartered cash distributed dash 600 300. Yes sir, no sir. Oh, that means A will not get anything. B was supposed to get 18,000. Out of that 18,000, he is bearing this much loss and this much loss. So remaining 600 is getting cash. 9,000 chartered was supposed to payable to C. Out of that batch, he is bearing this much loss and this much loss. That means remaining 300 is paid in cash. Correct? Yes. So working note number 1 में you are paying how much cash? A को nothing, B को 600, A को nothing, B को 600 and C को 300. Yes sir, no sir. So chartered balance due. Balance due dash 15,000, 17,400, 8,700. Correct? Now that comes to 41,100. Now chartered fourth installment. Fourth installment is how much? Fourth installment is 6,000. Oh my God. Fourth installment is chartered 6,000. Correct? Fourth installment is 6,000. Now this 6,000 will be given to home partners. Working note number 2, 6,000. How much you will give? How much you will give? That is working note number 2. 1, 2. Balance due. A का how much? A का 15,000, B का 17,400 and C का 8,700. Sir, from where are you getting this, sir? Here are 15,000, 17,400 and 8,700 is balance due. Yes, uska total is how much? 41,100. So 41,100 you are supposed to pay to partners. 41,100 you are supposed to pay to partners. Now charted 41,100 you are supposed to pay to partners. Correct? Yes. Now, fourth realization. Fourth installment. 6,000. We are supposed to pay 41,100, but we have got only 6,000. That means maximum loss is how much? Maximum loss. Maximum loss is 35. Maximum loss in 2:1, that is 35,100 in the ratio 2:1. 14040, 14040, 7020. Correct? No. Now, so how much is, nobody is getting negative? So cash distributed 960, 3360, 1680. Correct? Cash distributed 960, 3360 and 1680. 960, 3360 and 1680. Correct? Incorrecta? Correct. Now, so balance due. $35,100, 14040, 14040 and 7020. Fifth installment. Now charted fifth installment. Bola bola. Fifth installment is how much? 20,100 is my fifth installment. 20,100. No. 20,100. Now, partners. $20,100. But that will come through working note number 3. Now, so working note number 3. Balance due. Now charted balance due is how much? Balance due is how much? 14040, 14040, 7020. That comes to 35,100. This 35,100 against me, we have got fifth installment. That is 20,100. If 20,100 chartered, then maximum loss is how much? 15,000. Maximum loss in 2:2:1, 15,000. 6, 6, 3. Na, 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 na. Correct. So nobody is getting negative, so cash distributed. That means 14,040 message 6,000 is the loss he is bearing, so he is getting a cash of 8,040. 14,040 if he is bearing a loss of 8,000, that means he is getting a cash of 8,040, 4,020. Correct? Yo. That is 8,040, 8,040, 4,020. Realization. Loss chartered. Realization loss 15,000. Correct? Now my wonderful chartered accountant. So you are done with partnership. After partnership, we will start with company. Company में chartered, company accounts में we will do share forfeiture. Correct? Then pro-rata. Then redemption of preference shares. Redemption of debentures. Correct? Share forfeiture, pro-rata, redemption of preference shares and redemption of debentures. That we will do in company accounts. Correct? So before that we take break of 15 minutes. Yes, no. Yes, sir.
Let's meet after break.
Now chartered, let's start with company accounts. Now 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 chartered, share forfeiture. Share forfeiture means what? Sir, share forfeiture means if any shareholder fails to pay allotment or due, if any shareholder fails to pay allotment or due, his shares will be cancelled and reissued to somebody else. This cancellation of shares is known as shares forfeiture. And whatever money he had paid till the time of cancellation will not be refunded. Correct. Share forfeiture means if any shareholder failed to pay allotment or call money due, his shares are cancelled. And the money he has paid till the time of cancellation will not be refunded to him. Those cancelled shares can be reissued to somebody else. Am I clear? And profit on reissue shall be transferred to capital reserve. Correct. So share forfeiture chartered and reissue and reissue. What is the journal entry for share forfeiture? What is the journal entry for share forfeiture? Journal entry for share forfeiture. Now the journal entry is equity share capital. It can be preferential capital also. Equity share capital, 2 calls in arrear, 2 share forfeiture. Equity share capital, 2 calls in arrear, 2 share forfeiture. This is called up, this is unpaid, and this is paid. Called up, unpaid, paid. Called up means money asked, ASKED. Called up means money asked from shareholder. Correct? Yes, sir. Now, so called up and paid up does not include security premium. Called up and paid up does not include security premium. Called up means money asked, unpaid means money not paid up means money paid. Called up and paid up does not include security premium chartered. Am I clear? Yes. Now chartered, security premium. If the shares are originally issued at premium, then security premium is debited. If the shares are originally issued at premium, then security premium is debited. Then security premium is debited if not paid by defaulter. Then security premium is debited if not paid by defaulter. Am I clear? Yes. So this is share forfeiture. Now chartered, then there is reissue. Then there is reissue. That means these cancelled shares can be reissued. The journal entry is bank account debit, discount on reissue, that is share forfeiture, which we call it discount on reissue. Correct? To equity share capital, to security premium. if reissue price is greater than nominal value. So the shares are issued at discount, it is debited to share forfeiture. But if shares are issued at premium, it is credited to security premium. Acha. Then charted profit on reissue. Profit on reissue. Now when we say profit on reissue chartered, it means the journal entry is share forfeiture to capital reserve. Share forfeiture to capital reserve. How to calculate that? Paid up value per share less discount on reissue whatever you get over here multiplied by number of shares reissued. Correct? Number of shares reissued. That will give you profit on reissue. That will give you profit on reissue. So paid up value of shares less discount on reissue. Paid up value of shares less discount on reissue. Paid up value of shares means this and discount on reissue means this. Oh, share forfeiture minus into number of shares reissue. Correct? Yes. Now charted. This is reissue. Share forfeiture and reissue. Let's solve this question. Shall we start? X Limited issued 1 lakh equity shares of rupees 10 each at a premium of rupees 2 per share. ठीक है. Application 2 allotment 5. Application 2 allotment 5, that means 3 plus 2. Because premium is 2 and if nothing is mentioned, premium or discount is always with allotment. If nothing is mentioned, premium or discount is always with allotment. First call 3, second call 2. So 2, 3 plus 2, 3 and 2. The applications were received for 1,20,000 shares of which 20,000. The applications were received for 1,20,000 shares of which 20,000 applications were rejected. A to whom 3,000 shares were allotted failed to pay allotment and first call money and his shares were forfeited before final call. A to whom 3,000 shares were allotted failed to pay allotment and call money and his shares were forfeited before allotment. Okay. B to whom 2,000 shares were allotted failed to pay both the calls and his shares were forfeited after final call. ठीक है. So A did not pay application and allotment, B did not pay first call and second call. All the shares were later on reissued at rupees 9 per share. Correct? Yes. Now charted. Now, so let's start. Entry number 1. Issued how many shares? 1 lakh, but public subscribed for 1,20,000 shares. The bank to share application on 1,20,000 shares. Application is how much? 2. So journal entry will become bank to share application 1,20,000 multiplied by 2 rupees. $2,40,000. Correct? Yes sir, no sir? Yes sir. Thereafter charted. But company issued how many shares? 1 lakh. Public subscribed for how many shares? 1 lakh 20. How many excess shares subscribed? 20. That would be refunded. So second entry will become share application 1 lakh 20 into 2, 2 lakh 40, 2 bank, 20,000 into 2, 40,000, refund, and balance is equity share capital, that is 1 lakh into 2. Correct? Yes, sir. Now charted. Number 3. First call. Application. Now allotment. 3 plus 2. So what entry? Share. Allotment. 1 lakh into 5 lakhs. 2 equity share capital. 2 equity share capital charted how much? 1 lakh into 3. Then 2 security premium. I hope you are solving. Tick, 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 nahi, solve. Rather, you should solve ahead of me. 1 lakh. Sir, we have solutions, sir. We are checking. Don't do it. Now, exam you are supposed to solve, not check. You are not examiner. Now, chartered, I will ask number 4, bank account debit. You will ask money. Did everybody pay? No. Ayyo, Rama, who did not pay? A. To whom 3,000 shares were allotted, failed to pay allotment and first call. So, we received money only on 97,000. So, bank account debit 97,000 multiplied by 5. 97,000 multiplied by 5 is 4 lakh 85,000. Calls in arrear 3,000 into 5, 15,000. 2 share allotment 1 lakh into 5 lakhs. Correct? Yes, sir. Now chartered. Now you will ask for first call money. First call is 3 rupees. So share first call to equity share capital. Share first call to equity share capital. How much? 1 lakh into 3. 3 lakhs. Number 6. Now chartered, number 6 may will receive money. First call was not paid by A as well as B. A had 3000 shares failed to pay allotment and first call. B has 2000 shares failed to pay first call and second call. That means A and B both did not pay first call. So entry will become bank account debit 95,000 into 3, that is 2 lakh. Calls in arrear 5,000 into 3, 15,000 to share first call. 3 lakhs. Correct? Now charted, first call is done. Now after first call, that means A is the person who did not pay allotment and first call, his shares are forfeited because it is given. A to whom 3000 shares were allotment failed to pay allotment is first call and his shares were forfeited before final call. That means before second call. So his shares are forfeited. Yes. Now charted, what is the breakup? 2, 3 plus 2, 3 and 2. 2, 3 plus 2, 3 and 2. He paid application, unpaid, unpaid. And the shares are forfeited here? Yes. So charted, what is the called up value? 2 plus 3, 5, 5 plus 3, 8. Called up means how much money you have asked excluding premium. 2 plus 3, 5 plus 3, 8, excluding premium. Security premium will be debited, will not be debited. Security premium should be debited when it is not paid by the defaulter. Is it paid? Not paid. Therefore, it will be debited. Security premium will be paid, will be debited only if it is not paid by defaulter. Unpaid. 3 plus 3 plus 2, 8. Paid is first one, 2. Correct? How many shares? 3. So charted journal entry will become equity share capital, security premium to calls in arrear, to share forfeiture, called up, unpaid, paid. How many shares? 3000 into 8. 3000 into 2. 6000. 3000 into unpaid. 8. 3000 into 2 paid. Correct? Yes. Now chartered. Sir, I have understood this chapter properly from. No, if you have understood, why do you want to stay? Now. Correct? Now chartered. Then chartered. Then chartered. Reissue. Then second call. Forfeited A ka. Entry number 8. Entry number 8. Share second call. Share second call to equity share capital. Share second call to equity share capital. How many shares are there? 1 lakh. Out of 1 lakh, how many shares you have forfeited? 3,000. So how many shares are left? 97,000. 97,000 chartered into 8. Sorry. Second call is how much? 2. That comes to 1,94,000. Correct. Share second call to equity share capital. Number 9. Bank account debit. Out of that 97, B holding 2,000 shares failed to pay. So you received money from how much? 95 multiplied by 2. 1,90,000. 95 multiplied by 2. That is 1,90,000. Yes or no? Yes, sir. Thereafter chartered calls in arrear. 2,000 into 2. Then 2 shares second call. 1,94,000. Correct and correcta? Correcta. Shall we move ahead? Yes or no? Yes, sir. Now, number 10. Number 10 chartered. Share capital. Number 10. Now you will again forfeit B's share. Yes. So breakup is what? 2, 3 plus 2, 3 and 2. Paid, paid, unpaid, unpaid. And the shares are forfeited here. Yes. Called up is how much? Full 10. Security premium will be debited? No. Why? Because it is paid. If security premium is not paid chartered, you will debit? Yes. Unpaid amount. 3 plus 2, 5. Paid amount. 3 plus 2, 5. Now chartered the journal entry is equity share capital, 2 calls in arrear, 2 share forfeiture. Equity share capital, 2 calls in arrear, 2 share forfeiture. How much? Called up, unpaid, paid. 2,000 into 10. 2,000 into unpaid. And 2,000 into 5. Now chartered 10 entries you have done. 11th entry you will reissue. Correct. So you will reissue. Reissue how many? All shares are reissued at what price? All shares are reissued at rupees 9. All shares are reissued at 9. Then the journal entry will become. Can you all hear me? Yes, sir. Bank account debit. Now bank account debit is how much? No, 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 no. 5,000 into 9. Share forfeiture. 5,000 into 1. 2. 2 share capital 5,000 into 10. Correct? Now charted profit on reissue. Profit on reissue. The journal entry is share forfeiture to capital reserve. Share forfeiture to capital reserve. There is A, there is B. First, paid up value. Now charted A ka paid up value is 2 and B ka paid up value is 5. Can you see? A ka paid up value is 2 and B ka paid up value is 5. And discount on reissue for both is 1. So paid up value 2, paid up value 5. Discount on reissue 1, 1. That means net gain is how much? 1, 4. Number of shares reissued. How many shares are reissued? A ka 3,000 shares, B ka 2,000 shares. So this becomes total becomes 1 into 3,000, 3,000, 4 into 2,000, 8,000, 3 plus 8, 11,000. Understood? Yes or no? Yes, sir. Now charted. So this is all your share forfeiture. Now we are supposed to do pro-rata. Now charted pro-rata generally comes every attempt for 15 marks. Now understand what I am trying to say. Suppose charted company issued 10,000 shares and public subscribed 15,000 shares, refund 2,000 shares and rest on pro-rata. Pro-rata has two qualities. Pro-rata allotment has two qualities. Excess application money received. Pro-rata has two qualities. Quality number 1, allotment of shares on ratio basis, on proportionate basis is known as pro-rata. Second, excess money received on share application. Excess money received on share application will be adjusted towards the share allotment, it will not be refunded. That means rest on pro-rata, that means out of 15, how much you have refunded? 2. So how much you have left with? 13. This 13,000 shareholders, you are going to allot how many shares? 10,000. That means ratio is 13:10. Yes, that means every 13 shares per you will allot 10 shares. This is known as, so those who have applied for 13 shares will get 10 shares. Those who have applied for 13 shares will get 10 shares. Yes. Correct? Yes. This is known as pro-rata. This is the first condition. Now, as a company, you got 3,000, your application allotment and first call is 532. As a company, you got 3,000 shares into 5, 15,000 rupees extra. on application, which logically you should have refunded because people applied for how many shares? 13,000. You are allotting them how many shares? 10,000. People applied for how many shares? 13. You are allotting them how many shares? 10. That means how much excess money you got? 3,000. That 3,000 shares ka money, how much excess money? 15,000. Because on 3,000 shares, you got an application money of 5. That is 15,000 extra, yes. This 15,000 extra you should refund. Bolo ha, this 15,000 extra you should refund. Correct, incorrect? Correct. Now, instead of refunding, you are telling that you will take this 15,000 less on allotment. Acha. Now, allotment you will ask from how many shares? 10,000 shares only. Why? Because you have allotted 10,000 shares. Therefore, 15,000 rupees you will receive less. On how many shares? 10,000 shares I will receive 15,000 rupees less. Therefore, on one share, how much money you will receive less? Sir, 1 rupee 50 paisa I will receive less. Why you will receive less 1 rupee 50 paisa on allotment? Because you received 1 rupee 50 paisa more on application. That means, can I say the new breakup is like this: 6.5, 3 minus 1.5, 1.5 and 2. And thereafter it becomes a normal forfeiture. Now listen to me very carefully. It will sound odd, but believe me, follow the process is the best process on earth. Guarantee. Company issued how many shares? 10,000. Public subscribed for how many? 15. How many you refunded? 2. So how many you are left with? 13. 13,000 ko you are allotting how many shares? 10,000. So 13,000 shares people applied, but you are allotting them how many shares? 10,000 shares. That means you are allotting in the ratio 13 is to 10. Those who applied for 13 shares will get 10 shares. Correct? Now 3,000 shares ka excess money you got? Yes. How much excess money you got? 3,000 into application money 5. 15,000 you got excess? Yes. This 15,000 which you got excess, logically you should refund. Yes. But you said I will not refund, but at the time of allotment, you pay me 15,000 rupees less. Instead of I giving you back 15,000, I am telling you, instead of I giving you back 15,000, the money which you are supposed to pay me on allotment, on that you subtract 15,000 and pay. You said fair enough. That means I will get 15,000 rupees less on allotment. Correct? Yes. I will get 15,000 rupees less on allotment. Correct? Yes. But allotment I will ask from how many shares? Sir, 10,000 shares only. Why allotment I will ask on 10,000 shares only? Sir, because you have allotted only 10,000 shares. So I will ask allotment 10,000 shares, and these 10,000 shares will pay 15,000 rupees less. Yes. These 10,000 shares will pay 15,000 rupees less. Yes. That means one share will pay 1 rupee 50 paisa less. Yes. One share will pay on allotment 1 rupee 50 paisa less. Yes. If one share will pay on allotment 1 rupee 50 paisa less, why he will pay 1 rupee 50 paisa less? Because he has paid on application 1 rupee 50 paisa more. Therefore, new breakup is this. With this new breakup, solve the sum the way you were solving share forfeiture ka question. Understood? Yes or no? Yes, sir. We'll do in a stepwise chronological order. Initially, in 1 or 2 questions, you might feel that these steps are lengthy process. But later on, when you are supposed to prepare table and all, believe me, this will max it. Chale? Yes, sir. Now chartered. Na 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 na. Chale? Yes. 2,000 shares of rupees 10 each were issued at a premium of rupees 2 per share. Application 2, allotment 5 including premium. Premium is how much? 2. So it will become 3 plus 2. On first call, rupees 3 on final call, rupees 2 on application, rupees 3. Now, and first call, applications were received for 3,000 shares, but you had issued how many shares? 2,000. Shares were received and allotment was made to the applicants of 2,400. You received application for how many shares? 3,000. But pro rata allotment, you made applications to how many shares? 2,400 shares. That means chartered 600 shares company was refunded. Yes. Money overpaid on application. Money overpaid on application was employed on account of sums due on allotment. Correct. Kailash, to whom 40 shares were allotted, failed to pay allotment and his subsequent failure to pay first college shares were forfeited. Correct. Roman, the holder of 60 shares, failed to pay 2 calls and his shares were forfeited after second call. Correct. Of these forfeited shares, 80 shares were sold to Karim at rupees 80. Whole of Kailash's share, matlab 40, and Roman ka also 40, because 80 shares are reissued, out of which whole of Kailash. Kailash has how many shares? 40. Roman has how many shares? 60, but you are reissuing only 80. Out of 80, if you are reissuing all of Kailash and Kailash has 40, so remaining are only 40. That 40 you have reissued out of Roman. That means Roman ka 60 shares were forfeited but reissued 40. Kailash ka 40 forfeited, 40 reissued. Roman ka 60 forfeited but 40 reissued. Correct? Yes. Now, this is category 1 where there is only one pro rata factor. Step 1. Step 1. Share allotment structure. Share allotment structure. Category. Applied, allotted, excess, remarks. Category applied, allotted, excess and remark. Now category, there are two categories, category A and B. Because you received application on how many shares? 3,000 shares. 600 you refunded and 2,400 ko you allotted 2,000 shares. So applied 600 you allotted nothing, excess 600, this you refunded. And remaining 2,400 ko you allotted 2,000 shares, excess is how much? 400, and this is pro rata. Correct? Yes. So this is chartered 3,000 shares ka details. You issued 2,000 but public subscribed for 3,000. This is what you did. Correct? Yes. Step 2. Calculation of pro rata factor. Calculation of pro rata factor. Calculation of pro rata factor chartered. Now, pro rata factor means 1 rupee 50 paisa. The person will pay less on allotment because he had paid excess on shares. We calculated over here, no? This 1 rupee 50 paisa. This is known as pro rata allotment. This 1 rupee 50 paisa, yes. Per share, how much you will adjust? The calculation of pro rata allotment. A. Excess shares excess shares on pro rata. 400 shares are excess on pro rata. Point number B में excess shares on pro rata 400 B. Share application money. Share application money is how much? It is 2, 3 plus 2, 3 and 2. So application money is 2. 2 rupees. Excess money is equal to A into B. How much excess money you have got? 800. 800 logically you are supposed to refund. 800 logically you are supposed to refund. But will you refund? No. You will say, give me 800 rupees less on allotment. Yes. Allotment you will ask on how many shares? Allotment you will ask on 200 shares. So, sorry, allotment you will ask on 2000 shares. So, on 2000 shares you will receive 800 less on allotment. Logically 800 rupees you are supposed to refund. Bolo, haan. Logically 800 rupees you are supposed to refund. Yes. But you told don't refund. 800 rupees you give me less on allotment. Allotment you are asking on how many shares? 2000 shares. So 2000 shares will pay 800 rupees less on allotment. Yes. So per share how much less they will pay? Sir, 40 paisa. Correct. D. Shares allotted on pro rata. Shares allotted on pro rata how much? 2000. Which 2000 shares? I am talking about which 2000 shares? Blue wala 2000, black wala 2000. Sir, blue wala, no, black wala. Shares allotted on pro rata. That is total 2000. I am interested in shares allotted on pro rata. Oh, correct? Yes. Now charted. Now charted E. Pro rata factor. Pro rata factor is equal to C divided by D. 40 paisa. Correct? 2000 shares per 40 paisa you are adjusting. 2000 shares per 40 paisa you are adjusting. Now, step 3. Break up of issue price. Breakup of issue price charted. Old breakup was 2, 3 plus 2, 3, 2. Application allotment first call, second call. It is given no 2, 3, 3 plus 2. And how much you are going to adjust? 40 paisa? Yes. So add 0.4 minus 0.4. So charted the new breakup will become 2.4. 3 minus 0.4. That means this 0.4 you will subtract from premium or non-premium. This 0.4 you will subtract first from non-premium. Achha. So this will become 2.6 plus 2. 3, 2. Okay. Step 4. Journals. Journals charted. with pro rata. With pro rata. With pro rata, use old breakup for journal entry 1, 2 and 3. With pro rata, use old breakup for journal entry 1, 2 and 3. Use new breakup for journal entry 4 onwards. So old breakup for entry number 1, 2 and 3 and new breakup from 4th entry onwards. ठीक है ना? हाँ sir. Done. But this is applicable only for with pro rata. Sir, without pro rata, so you will use old for everywhere, no? This breakup new and old is only with pro rata. If it is without pro rata, then you will use old breakup everywhere. Correct? Yes. Now. Now. Journals. Number 1. Bank to share application. How many shares? 2000. 2000 we have issued, but public had subscribed for 3000. Will be public had subscribed for 3000. Yes sir, no sir, yes sir. So first entry will become bank $3,000 into 2, 6,000. To share application 6,000. Number 2. Share application 3,000 into 2 you had. Out of which how much did you refund? To bank. You refunded how much? You refunded 600 ka money, 600 into 2. To equity share capital. How many shares you allotted? 2000. This wala 2000. Total wala 2000. So 2000 into 2. Correct? This is how much. And how much you will adjust on allotment? 800. How did you get 800? Ye raha. 2000 into 0.4. 2000 into 0.4. Most of the people will write on 400 shares 2 rupees. Na. On 2000 shares 40 paisa you adjusted. That is how much? 800. Correct? Yes. Then charted entry number 3. Entry number 3. Share first call to equity share capital. Share first call to equity share capital. How much? First call is how much? 2000 into 5. That is 10,000. 2,000 into 3, 6,000. 2 share premium. Now my wonderful chartered accountants. Yes or no? Yes, sir. That is, entry number 1, 2, 3 is over. Old breakup ka drama khatam. Yes. Now new breakup. Number 4. You will ask the share allotment. Share allotment. Now, share allotment 2000 into 5, equity share capital 3. Now you charted bank account debit. Did everybody pay money? No. Who did not pay? Kailash, to whom 40 shares were allotted, failed to pay allotment. So out of 2000, Kailash did not pay, so 1960 paid. Bank account debit, calls in arrear, 2 share allotment. We'll start from here. 2 share allotment. 2000 shares were supposed to pay how much? 4.6 chartered. 2.6 plus 2. New breakup 2.6 plus 2 you are supposed to pay. So 4.6. How many did not pay? Kailash, 40 into 4.6. How many paid? 1960 into 4.6. Yes sir, no sir. Yes sir. Now, that is 9016, 184, 9200. 9016, 184, 9200. Correct? Yes. Now charted number 5. Number 5 chartered is first call. Number 5 is first call. First call again you will ask on 2000 shares. Yes. How much is the first call? Now new breakup 3. Now from 5th entry onwards, whether you follow old or new, it will not make difference because call money is always same. Excess on application is adjusted on allotment. So call money will always remain same only. So old or new ka drama gets over in 4th entry only. Share first call 2. Equity share capital on 2000 shares. On 2000 shares it is 4.6. Correcta, incorrecta? Correcta. Now chartered. No, share first call is 3 rupees, no? Share first call 3 rupees. Now number 6. Bank account debit. Bank account debit number 6. Now, first call, Kailash as well as Roman both did not pay. Kailash has 40 shares, Roman has 60 shares. Kailash and Roman both did not pay first call, that is 100 shares. So 1900 shares paid the money. So 1900 into 3. calls in arrear, 100 into 3, calls in arrear, 100 into 3, 2 share first call. Now charted, now you will enter number 7 mein you will forfeit Kailash. Breakup is what? 2.4, 2.6 plus 2, 3 and 2. Paid, not paid, not paid, and the shares are forfeited here. Called up is how much? 2.4 plus 2.655 plus 38. Security premium will be debited? Yes, 2. Why security premium will be debited? Because it is not paid. Unpaid is how much? 3 plus 2.6, 5.6. Sorry, 5.6 plus 2, 7.6 is unpaid. This, all is unpaid. Paid is how much? Only 2.4. So what shall be the journal entry? Equity share capital, calls in arrear, equity share capital, security premium, to calls in arrear, to share forfeiture. Equity share capital, security premium, calls in arrear, to share forfeiture. Called up, unpaid, paid. Called up, unpaid, paid. Now chartered, called up is how much? How many shares? 60 into 8, 480. 60 into 2, 120. 60 into unpaid, 304. 60 into 2.4. $69 सर 40 शेयर्स है कैलाश का. कैलाश has 40. $320, 80, 304, 96. 320, 80, 304 and 96. Then chartered, you will ask number 8, what? Second call का money. Share second call. Now chartered, share second call, you will ask from all 2000. No, you will ask from 1960 only. Why? Because 40 to you have forfeited. So 1960 multiplied by 4.6. That comes to 1960 into 4.6. Sir, 4.6 nahi, second call is 2. Second call is 2. So that comes to how much? 3920. Number 9. Number 9 chartered. Bank account debit. Calls in arrear. 2 share second call. $1960 into 2. Now calls in arrear will be how much? 60 into 2. 120. 60 into 2, 120. So 31900 into 2. 1900 into 2, 3800. Now we'll receive money from second call. हो गया. Now we'll forfeit Roman share. So 2.4, 2.6 plus 2, 3, 2. Paid, unpaid. Called up 10. Security premium 0. Unpaid 5. Paid is also 5. Unpaid is this 2. Paid is these 2. Paid is 2.4 plus 2.6 and unpaid is 3 and 2. Correct? No? Ha. Now my chartered accountant. Tell me. What, sir? What entry we will pass? What entry we will pass? Equity, share capital. Equity, share capital, 2 calls in arrear, 2 share forfeiture, called up, unpaid, paid. Correct? Called up how many shares? 60 into 10. Unpaid 60 into 5. Paid 60 into 5. 600, 300, 300. Now you charted reissued. How many shares you reissued? 80 shares you reissued at 9 per share. 10 rupees ka shares you reissued at 9. Yes or no? 10 rupees ka shares you reissued at 9. So journal entry will be what? Bank account debit 80 into 9. Share forfeiture, discount on reissue 80 into 1. 2. Equity share capital 80 into 10. Now charted entry number 12. Profit on reissue. The journal entry is share forfeiture to capital reserve. How to find out? Paid up minus discount on reissue into paid up minus discount on reissue number of shares reissued and capital reserve. A, B, C, D. Capital reserve. Now charted Roman. Kailash, Roman. Both Kailash ka paid up value is 2.4, Roman ka paid up value is 5. Can you see? 2.4 and 5. Discount on reissue, both is 1. Number of shares reissued, both ka 40 are reissued. Correct? So this is 2.4 minus 1 into 40. 2.4, that is 56. 5 minus 1, 4 into 40, 160. Total 216. Total 216. That is a profit on reissue. Correct? Yes, sir. No, sir. Yes, sir. Na 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 na. 10th entry. Correct. बरोबर chartered? Yes. Now chartered, let's do this question. नहीं. This question number 5. X Limited made a public issue of 90,000 shares of rupees 10 each payable as under 3421. Applications were received for 1,25,000 shares. 30,000 shares were fully accepted. Okay. 15,000 shares were fully rejected. Okay. And balance were accepted on pro-rata. And balance were accepted on pro-rata. ठीक है. A to whom 3,000 shares were allotted failed to pay allotment and call money. B to whom 2,000 shares were allotted failed to pay, had paid second call along with first call. All the shares of A were forfeited, out of which 200 shares were reissued at the rate of 10. So A failed to pay allotment and call money. Call money means which call money? Both the call monies. ठीक है. So A did not pay allotment first call, second call, and B paid second call along with first call. Correct? Yes. Shall we start? Yes, sir. Step 1. Share allotment structure charted. Na 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 na. Now share allotment structure में category applied, allotted, excess, remarks. Excess remarks now charted. Now category A, 30,000 shares were fully accepted and 15,000 shares were fully rejected. So 30,000 shares, so 15,000 shares, nothing rejected. Refund now. Category B, 30,000 shares were fully allotted. This is without pro-rata. Correct? Yes. C. Now charted balance on pro-rata. Now understand, how many shares did the company issue? 90,000. How many shares did the company issue? 90,000. But public applied for how many shares? 12,000. Correct, incorrect? Yes. 1 minute. So total shares 90,000, 1,25,000 and 90,000. Yes. 80,000 and this is balance 60,000 because public applied for 90, because public applied for 1,25,000 and we could allot only 90. Correct, incorrect? Public applied for 1,25,000 shares and we allotted how many? 90. Now my wonderful chartered accountant balancing figure. The excess is how much? Now excess is how much? Pro rata. Step 2. Calculation of pro-rata factor. Calculation of pro-rata factor. Correct? Now chartered. A. Excess shares on pro rata. Excess shares on pro rata is how much? 20,000. B. Share application money. Share application money is how much chartered? 3 rupees. Excess application money 60,000. Now chartered. This excess application money you have received, that will be adjusted on allotment? Yes. So shares allotted on pro rata. Shares allotted on pro rata. Correct? Yes sir, no sir. Now, excess shares on pro rata is how many shares? 20,000 shares. That means chartered pro rata factor A divided by B. How much? Shares allotted on pro rata is 60,000. Shares allotted on pro rata 60,000. So pro rata factor. So on 60,000 shares chartered, on 60,000 shares I have adjusted 1 rupee. On 60,000 shares I have adjusted 1 rupee. That means on 60,000 shares I will take 1 rupees less on allotment because I have got 1 rupee more on application. Am I clear now? 20,000 shares paid 3 rupees. So 60,000 rupees I should have refunded to them. But I told, don't take refund. Instead of taking refund, take 60,000 less on allotment. Instead of taking refund, take 60,000 less on allotment. Correct? Yes. 60,000 less on allotment chartered. 60,000 less on allotment. Correct? On how many shares? Allotment you will ask on 60,000 only. So each share per 1 rupee less. Pro-Rata mein you will ask allotment from 60,000 shares. So 60,000 shares will pay 60,000 rupees less. Each shareholder will pay 1 rupee less. Correct? Yes. Now, step 3. Step 3. Breakup of issue price. Step 3. Breakup of issue price. Old, new. Breakup of issue price old, new. Bolo. 3, 4, 2, 1. Minus 1 plus 1. 4, 3, 2, 1. Correct? Yes. Now charted. Step 4. Step 4. Now step 4 without step 4 is journal entries. Step 4 is the journal entries. That means, remember, without pro-rata, old breakup. With pro-rata, there are 2 types of journal entries. With pro-rata, journal entry 1, 2, 3, old. Journal entry 4, 5, 6 end tak new. Without pro-rata, journal entries old breakup only. So 1, 2, 3 old, 4 onwards new is with for pro-rata only. Remember? Correct? No? Yes. Entry number 1. Entry number 1. Bank to share application. Entry number 1 charted bank to share application. Now, how much? Bank to share application 1,25,000 into 3. Correct? Yes. Now charted. Second entry. Second entry charted. Second entry is share application 1,25,000 into 3, 375. Yes. how much money you have refunded. 15,000 shares ka money you will refund. Correct now? Yes, so 15,000 into 3 to bank. $45,000 you will refund. Then chartered to equity share capital. How many shares are allotted? 90,000 shares are allotted. So 90,000 into 3 will go in share capital. Correct? Yes. And 60,000 into 1 will be adjusted in allotment. 2 share allotment. $60,000 shares per 1 rupee you will adjust 60,000. Correct? Yes. Now chartered entry number 3. Entry number 3. Entry number 3 is of share allotment? Yes. To equity share allotment. 90,000 shares, allotment is how much? 4 rupees. 3 lakh 60. 3 lakh 60. Correct, incorrect? Correct. Now chartered. Number 4. Number 4. Number 4, you will receive allotment money. Allotment money, bank account debit. Calls in arrear account debit. 2 share allotment. Now entry number 4. 4 without pro-rata, all entries may hold only. Yes. So without pro-rata is how much? 30,000 and with pro-rata 60,000. So 30,000 into old, that is 4, plus 60,000 into 3, that is new. 30,000 will be old and 60,000 will be new. Old is 4 rupees, new is 3 rupees. So old into 4, new into 6, that is 123 lakhs. Calls in arrear, A to whom 3,000 shares were allotted on pro-rata, failed to pay allotment and call money. So 3,000 shares into pro-rata. Pro-rata means new, that is into 3. 9,000. Logically, so you can say 3 lakh minus 9,000, 2 lakh 91. Nah. But 30,000 wala paid full money. Without pro-rata paid full money. With pro-rata mein 60,000 mein se 3,000 did not pay. This 3,000, the person who did not pay is with pro-rata, without pro-rata. With pro-rata, that means he is out of this 60,000 or out of this 30,000. So he is out of this 60. So out of 60, if 3 did not pay, how much paid? Sir, 57. So plus 57,000 into new 3. Oh, that will come to 291. 57 into 3 and 30,000 into 4, that is 291. Correct now. Now everybody same. Now chartered life is beautiful. Number 5. Share first call. To equity share capital. No. Sanjana, you understood? Without pro rata is how many shares? Without pro rata, how many shares? Without pro rata, 30,000. With pro rata, 60,000. So without pro rata will follow old breakup. With pro rata will follow new breakup. Tell me yes, no, this much के लिए. Without pro rata will follow old breakup. With pro rata will follow new breakup. And 30,000 shares are without pro rata and 60,000 shares are with pro rata. So without pro rata, 30,000 will follow old breakup and 60,000 with pro rata will follow new breakup. Yes, no. Second time say yes or no. The person who did not pay is out of pro rata. The person who did not pay is out of pro rata. Correct? So he will follow new breakup. He is out of pro rata, so he will follow new breakup. Correct? Now that means this 30,000 paid entire 4 rupees and this 60,000 may say 3,000 is not paid, 57 is paid. So without pro rata, everybody paid. With pro rata, out of 63 did not pay, 57 paid. Yes, no. Are you writing or checking the old solution? Now, fifth. Good. Share first call. Now the share first call means 90,000 all shares. 90,000 into first call. First call is 2 rupees. 1,80,000, 1,80,000. Entry number 6. Bank account debit. 2. Bank account debit. Calls in arrear. 2 share first call. Bank account debit 87,000 into 2. 3,000 into 2, there is 1 nalayak. Mr. A, who did not pay. 90,000 into 2. Correct? Now chartered. Now chartered. Number 7. Number 7. There is a person chartered who paid. There is a person chartered who paid second call money along with first call. To be 200 shares were allotted, had paid second call along with first call. That is calls in advance. And B has how many shares? 2,000 shares. He paid second call ka money, that is 1 rupee extra. So that is bank to calls in advance. 2,000 into 1. 2,000. Now chat. Number 8. Number 8. Second call. You will ask second call from share. Second call to equity share capital. How many shares are there? 90,000 into 1 rupee, you will ask. $90,000, correct? But my wonderful chartered accountant, when I receive money, I will not receive from both A and B. Why? Because A has not paid and B has paid in advance. Because A is calls in arrear, not paid, and B had paid in advance. So therefore calls in advance. Therefore, only 85,000 will pay. Calls in arrear, that is 3,000 into 1, that is Mr. A. Calls in advance, 2,000 into 1, to 2 share second call. 3,000, 2,000, 90,000. Correct? Yes. Now charted. You will forfeit. Share second call done? Yes. You will forfeit his share? Yes. What is the new breakup? 4, 3, 2, 1. 4, 3, 2, 1. He is paid this, not paid, not paid, not paid, called up 10. Unpaid. 3 plus 2 plus 1. 6. Paid is 4. The entry will become equity share capital 3,000 into 10. 2 calls. Two calls in arrear, 3,000 into unpaid 6, to share forfeiture 3,000 into 4, called up unpaid paid. Correct? Now charted. 11. 11 chartered reissue. How many shares are reissued? 2,000 shares are reissued. 2,000 shares are reissued at rupees 9.5. 2,000 shares are reissued chartered at 9.5. So 2,000 into 9.5 is how much? 18,000. Share forfeiture. No, this is 19, sorry. To equity share capital. Correct? Yes sir, no sir, yes. 2,000 into 10. 20,000. Number 12. Profit on reissue. Share forfeiture to capital reserve. Share forfeiture to capital reserve. Gain, that is paid up value, is how much? 4. Minus discount on reissue, 0.5, into number of shares reissued, 2,000. Now, 4, 3.5, that is 7,000. Correct chartered? Yes or no? Yes sir. Understood? Yes. Now chartered, 1 minute. Na 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 na. Now chartered, this question had come this time in the examination. So if you want to take, this is the solution of this attempt's question. You can take photograph 1 1 2 2 3 3 4 4 5 5. Correct? 1 1 2 2 3 3 4 4 5 5. Question you can find it internet mein only also, no? This is this attempt ka question paper, September 25. That you can find it anywhere. It is there in institute solution ke saath. Done. 1 2 3 4 5. 1 2 3 4 5. This was one question. One minute. I don't know then where I did that question. Now, this is one question charted which is good. This is there in your past examination. Take the pick of this also. I'll show you the solution. Correct question. This is solution. This was good. That charted when you are subtracting 1.5 from 1 and 5, 1 you subtracted from 1. Extra 0.5 is premium which you subtracted from premium. So when you subtracted from premium, premium became 4.5 whereas premium was 0.5 rupees. So that 0.5 premium went above. Please understand this. It was 3 plus 0 and 1 plus 5. So when you subtracted 1.5. So 1 you subtracted from year and 0.5 you subtracted year. So 1 you will add year and 0.5 you will add year. Is this clear? I hope you are understanding what I am saying. So premium is there in application also now. I don't know whether you are listening or not. But chartered, this is very good question. Journals. One more question I want to show. Is this question. This is also July 21, 15 marks. First you take the question, the photograph. 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3. 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5. Then you take step 1, 2, 3 ka photograph. Oh. There are only 2 breakup. Application allotment is this and this is first call. So step 1, 2, 3 done. This is step 4. I can guarantee whatever photographs you have taken over here and whatever you have done in the classroom, Pro-Rata ka all varieties we have done. Correct? Yes, no. Yes, sir. So now charted, we are left with 2 parts, redemption of preferential, redemption of debentures. We'll do it in the next session. Bye-bye. Take care. All the best. And if you want anything else, please tell me beforehand. Bye.